Мы, как и десятки...
We want the war to end, like other tens of millions of Russians, and we also want Russia to return to development from catastrophe and destruction it is in now.
There has not actually been any independent media in Russia itself since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Some publications ceased to exist under the pressure, others moved abroad with the entire editorial office, as it commonly in the Baltic countries. For example, the UATV channel resumed its broadcasting in mid-July after it had received a European license in Riga. The editors of the TV channel believe that giving up broadcasting means to play into the hands of Putin.
It gives a great pleasure when the bastards and war criminals like Vladimir Solovyov get nervous. On the other hand, it is another confirmation that they are afraid of the dissemination of independent information. Tikhon Zetko, chief editor of TV channel Dozhd, in an interview with Deutsche Welle.
How should you talk to people? How should you talk to those who still believe that this so-called special military operation is the right thing to do? I don't want to hate these people. I want to understand why they are thinking so. And I want to talk to them. I want to explain them. I want to put the facts.
The face of the opposition newspaper Novaya Gazeta was changing multiple times because of the constant bans from Roskomnadzor. Putin and his entourage are doing everything so that we simply do not exist. Kirill Martynov, chief editor of the publication, says. The investigators have been writing about real losses in the Russian army and war crimes of Russians in Ukraine since the beginning of the war in Ukraine. The regime has been persecuting journalists, blocking websites, not to mention the inability to print the publication. The editorial office, which had buried 7 authors of the newspaper during Putin's rule, has moved to Latvia.
To ensure that there are no journalists means a confident step towards the abyss. A society without independent media becomes blind. Kirill Martynov, chief editor of the publication Novaya Gazeta Europe, in an interview with Deutsche Welle.
Radio Svoboda closed its Russian bureau and was broadcasting from Riga in April, 2 weeks after the start of the war. Roskomnadzor issued 1,040 protocols of the bureau on a variety of violations in 2021. More than $13 million in fines, the company reported. More than 20 Radio Svoboda journalists have been declared foreign agents. The broadcaster's Russian bureau was fined more than 30 million rubles for refusing to remove news about the war in May 2022. Moreover, the security forces were threatening the employees. All this was the culmination of the squeezing out of Radio Svoboda from Russia, where the editorial office had been working since 1991 by the invitation of Boris Yeltsin. The organization Reporters Without Borders claims that Russia's war in Ukraine has devastating consequences for media freedom. Russia ranked 155th in the journalism independence rating in 1922, making it into the list of 28 countries with a very critical state of press freedom. Moscow blocked the websites of Voice of America, BBC, Deutsche Welle, Medusa after the start of the war in Ukraine. But Russians still have access to opposition journalism through VPN services. Nearly 170 Russian media outlets have been declared foreign agents. According to the Kremlin, they are financed by the West. In fact, many of them will have to literally survive by collecting donations from their readers, listeners, and viewers even while being safely abroad. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Bezborodko, UATV News.